How do you manifest an SP using the law of assumption? This works for any situation. If you got like a third party situation going on, if you have never spoke to the person, if you're in no contact, it could be an ex, it could be anything. It could even just be a friendship. No matter what the situation is, you can definitely manifest it. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you exactly what you need to do, the techniques you should do, as well as my experience doing it as well. And then we're also going to go over just some of the most common concerns that I've seen with this. So manifesting an SP, which is a specific person, that's what it is all about. And it's usually in the manifesting space I've seen it's about love. That's usually what it's for. People who want someone romantically is what it is. But, it could also be for manifesting friendship. But usually it's usually always love, right? Which makes sense. It is a really big desire that most people have to be loved. It's not a desire to be ashamed of at all. So first we're going to talk about the romantic side of it, but you can twist this to be just a friendship. You don't have to include all the lovey aspects. But what I would recommend to someone manifesting an SP is to just feel that love. That is the main focus you want to have there first. Because you get what you concentrate on. So if you concentrate on feeling loved by this person, you're going to get that in return. You're going to get love from this person, right? Mentally, if you concentrate upon having a nice life with them, you're going to get that. So this is all it comes down to, is using whatever technique you want to manifest this life. So the technique doesn't matter. I've talked about this in another video on my channel before. It doesn't matter what technique you use as long as it gets you into the feeling of being the person who has the desire. It's that knowing feeling that you want to get to. So if you're going to visualize as a technique, for example, I think that's one of the most common ones. All you got to do is just imagine life with them. How would that feel? What dates would you go on? Where would you live? What side of the bed would you sleep on with them? What would you make them for breakfast in the morning? Would they make you breakfast in the morning? Just any detail you want that would make you feel like, yeah, that's life with them. That's normal. And just imagine that. It feels really good to imagine that, right? If you need help doing that, like thinking of examples, it's not a bad idea to use ChatGPT or whatever AI thing you want. Like, it actually works well with giving you ideas. You can imagine going on nice, cute dates with them, going to the park or the mall or like a movie theater or playing a video game with them. Whatever feels great to you, just imagine those moments. You don't have to focus on one scene. You could do a bunch of scenes. It doesn't matter. Whichever way you want to imagine, a bunch of scenes or just one, whatever feels good, imagine that. Feel what it would be like to have that life. Feel that love. That's what's most important, feeling loved by them. So the goal of focusing on this stuff specifically and using this technique is to get you feeling so good that by the end of doing this, you just feel like, you're so calm and you're so relaxed in this feeling that is calmed you down from all your worries about it. You just sort of feel that relief. And constantly returning to this feeling, you will get that knowing. The knowing feeling that you get to is the goal of any technique. It's where you just know that what you imagined is real. You know that it's going to happen and unfold in your 3D. It's like a very, very nice feeling of trust and relief and just knowing that it's going to happen. Over time, you will get to that feeling anyways, but I might make a video specifically on how to get faith because it's not as hard as it sounds, right? It's mostly just logic and trusting the law. Because if you know that the law works and you imagine for it, logically it's going to have to unfold in some way. And if you keep doing that same thing, imagining for this and not focusing on the negative stuff, logically it's going to unfold. It's the law. That's how the law works. So you don't got to worry about it because that's just how it works. That's the mental process that I go through and I find it really helps. Now, I get a lot of messages from various people talking about different concerns that they have. It could be a third-party situation. They're already with someone, or you never talked to them before, or they're an ex and the breakup was hard, and you don't speak to them anymore. They blocked you, all that stuff. And all these things, I get it. They seem really, really tough. They're very high emotion, high stress, and they don't feel good, which I totally understand. But it's the law. You get what you concentrate upon, as Seth talks about. If you were already with them, would you worry about how you were in no contact or how there was a third party? No. So that's why when you imagine these things, it feels so relieving because it feels like it's right now. And so when you're in that state, it feels ridiculous that, there was a third party and I worried about that. Like, no, you wouldn't be worried about it. And then also from a 3D perspective, like, it's going to come. So there's no point in worrying about these things if you know it's going to happen eventually. I know it can be easier said than done, but if you really want what you're manifesting, it's best to always just focus on that. And then also, if you knew it was coming, you wouldn't worry about a third party or being blocked if you're certain that it's coming. So you just got to keep returning to that and feeling that and imagining it. There's a quote by Neville: "Do not waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of the mistakes of the past is to reinfect yourself. Turn from appearances and assume the feeling that would be yours were you already the one you wish to be." Damn. I like that, Neville. So he's pretty much saying here, don't think on whatever circumstances you're going through. Third party, no contact, blocked, whatever. Don't think on that, because if you ponder that and you dwell on it, it's counterproductive to what you want. You get what you concentrate upon. So concentrate on good things. Concentrate on being loved. So now I'm going to focus on some of my experiences with all this, because I actually have done this stuff successfully before. So one was like friendship, and then the other was love. So I'll explain the love one first, but the friendship one was so cool. I really want you to hear it. It's like, it was pretty much a celebrity that's like very, very famous. So, but first, the SP stuff, the love, right? For me, what I do is I use whatever technique I like, which I like imagining, and I just feel love. I imagine life with them, you know, holding them at night, hearing them say like lovely things to me, maybe feeling a ring on your finger, you know, but you know, it would feel good, just like romantic things. That's what I would imagine. And just them saying that they love me until I get immersed and I just feel so relaxed and nice. It feels really good, right? And so doing that over and over, I started to notice like things in my reality changed from this person. And then they started actually saying the things I started imagining. So it's like, it starts to work really quickly. And then I actually lived out some of my scenes, but it happened because I kept the focus on the good stuff there. Now, as for the friendship part, this person is like one of the biggest celebrities in the world. And I manifested that he followed me and he phoned me. We called for like 20 minutes. We called a bunch more times. And then I actually flew out to meet him in person. And the way I did that was I just focused on talking to him. I imagined that he was excited to talk to me, and he would reach out to me, and, you know, scrolling through DMs, there's a whole bunch of DM history, stuff like that. For both of these scenarios, I would just focus on feeling immersed in the scene where it actually feels real. And then I trust that it's going to happen. This video kind of feels a little bit rambly, but I hope that you learned something and that this helped. I would love it if you click subscribe so that you know when I upload more videos, because I have some more stuff planned. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for watching.